Welcome back to The Explainer, everyone. Today we're tackling one of the most universally exhausting, guilt-inducing experiences in all of human history, the childhood meltdown. Look, if you've ever found yourself desperately negotiating with a screaming toddler in the middle of a grocery store aisle while feeling the very judgy stares of everyone around you, well, you know exactly what I mean. But what if everything we've been taught about how to react to tantrums is actually making them worse? Today, we're completely transforming our approach using a clear, connection-based framework from our source material, so let's jump right in.
My yelling didn't stop the tantrums, it made them worse, and we'd both end up in tears. Man, that really hits home, doesn't it? That is the breaking point. It's that awful moment of realization after the fourth tantrum of the morning, maybe over a spilled bowl of cereal or absolute sheer panic over getting the blue cup instead of the red one, and we just snap. Not because we want to yell, but because we genuinely just don't know what else to do. If you've been there, please know you are absolutely not alone. Our goal in this explainer is to find a better way, a way that actually works and doesn't leave you swimming in a pool of guilt afterwards. Here's our roadmap for today. First, the tantrum paradigm shift. Second, spotting the hidden triggers. Third, the prevention first approach. Fourth, surviving the mid-tantrum storm. And fifth, reconnection and action steps.
Let's start with part 1, the tantrum paradigm shift, redefining tantrums.
We are so incredibly conditioned to look at a screaming child and instantly think bad behavior or defiance. But our source material totally flips the script on this. A tantrum is actually your child's nervous system short-circuiting. Think of it like a computer crashing from emotional overload. When we view a tantrum as a battle, what happens? We get defensive, we fight back. But when we look at it as a nervous system malfunction, we start seeing the meltdown as a signal. It's literally an SOS, not an act of war.
So what's actually causing that short circuit? Well, most of the time, kids are simply tired or hungry. We all know the classic hangry meltdown, right? Or they might feel completely out of control in a world where giant adults make literally every decision for them. Third, they physically lack the vocabulary to express complex feelings. They just don't have the words yet. And fourth, they're overwhelmed by way too much sensory stimulation. Understanding this is your first real superpower, because they aren't trying to give you a hard time. They are having a hard time.
Okay, part 2, spotting the hidden triggers. What sets them off?
Now, some triggers are completely obvious, but there are actually hidden catalysts that most parents totally miss. First up, transitions without warning. Suddenly ripping a kid away from playing with their blocks to go get in the car, that's a massive shock to their system. Second, giving too many choices. We think we're being nice and giving them freedom, but offering an entire closet of clothes when they aren't ready for it just causes massive overwhelm. Third, and honestly, this one is huge, parent stress. Kids are incredibly intuitive. They feel our tension and they just mirror it right back to us. And finally, a lack of routine. The more unpredictable life feels to a toddler, the more meltdowns you're going to see.
Moving right along to part 3, the prevention first approach. Stop before they start.
Believe it or not, most tantrums can actually be stopped before the screaming even begins. Let's walk through some really proactive steps. Step 1, warn before transitions. A simple, hey, 5 more minutes and then it's bath time, works absolute wonders. Step 2, lean heavily into predictable routines, because kids absolutely thrive on knowing exactly what's coming next. Step 3 directly combats that choice overwhelm we just talked about. Offer limited choices. Instead of, what do you want to wear today? Try saying, do you want the red shirt or the blue shirt? It gives them a safe sense of control. And step 4, plan those snacks. Seriously, never underestimate how many screaming fits are really just a desperate, disguised cry for a granola bar.
All right, part 4, surviving the mid-tantrum storm, mid-tantrum strategy. This segment brings up what might be the most vital truth of parenting. You cannot control your child. You can only control yourself, period. When the screaming starts, your own body naturally reacts. Your heart races, your voice rises. You just want to shut the noise down. But before you do anything, try this. Breathe. Literally count to 3 in your head before you let a single word out. Next, consciously lower your voice. This is a great trick because it actually forces them to quiet down just to hear what you're saying. Step back physically to give yourself a beat of space. And finally, repeat a calming mantra in your head. I really love the one from our source material here. This is communication, not defiance. When you're right in the thick of it, there are some crucial things you definitely want to avoid. Don't lecture. Don't argue logic. A child's brain literally cannot process logic mid-meltdown. It's offline. And definitely don't threaten them with things like, if you don't stop right now, no TV for a week. Instead, flip the script. Focus on what you should do. Stay nearby and remain completely calm. Acknowledge their feelings, use really short, simple phrases like, I'm here, you're safe. You are essentially acting as the calm, heavy anchor in the middle of their emotional hurricane. This perfectly captures the essence of using connection instead of control. By physically getting down to their eye level, you change the power dynamic completely. You're no longer this giant authority figure looming over them. You're right there with them. You name the feeling for them. You're really upset that we can't go outside right now. You offer empathy way before you try to offer solutions. And remember, doing this is absolutely not giving in. You're just showing them that you're on their side. And when kids truly feel seen and understood, the need for the tantrum naturally just drops away.
Now, let's make a really important point of clarification right here. Connection does not mean abandoning all the rules. Boundaries are completely necessary, but they don't have to be loud or scary. You just state what is not okay, very clearly. We do not hit. Then, you quickly redirect that pent-up energy, but you can stomp your feet on the floor instead. And finally, you follow through calmly. Every single time. Kids actually test limits because they are looking for a boundary. They want to feel safe. Your consistency is exactly what builds that safety net. No bribes or threats required whatsoever.
And that brings us to part 5, reconnection and action steps, repairing the bond.
So, the storm has passed. The tears have stopped. Now what? This after phase is all about repairing the relationship. First, offer a physical reconnection, like a simple hug. Second, talk very briefly about what happened. But whatever you do, do not lecture. Just keep it factual. You were really mad when we had to leave the park today. And third, end things on a positive note. Read a book together, draw a picture, or just cuddle for a few minutes. This is such a profound lesson for a child. It teaches them that conflict and negative emotions do not permanently break their relationship with you. Your bond is secure no matter what.
Let's just pause on this message for a second. Tantrums aren't proof you're failing, they're proof your child is learning. I really want everyone watching this explainer to deeply internalize that. When things go sideways in public, we instantly feel like we're messing up as parents. But a meltdown is really just proof that your child is actively learning how to handle massive, overwhelming emotions, and you are simply acting as their guide. You aren't failing. You are just doing the incredibly hard, messy work of parenting. So how do we put this all together? What can you actually do today, the minute this video ends? Here's your quick action plan. Number 1, identify your child's top 3 specific triggers. Number 2, start adding a 5-minute warning before every major transition you make today. Number 3, practice naming feelings out loud, even during calm, happy moments, just to build up their emotional vocabulary. Number 4, commit to lowering your voice instead of raising it, the very next time tensions spike. And number 5, reconnect after every conflict, no matter how tiny it might seem. I'm going to leave you with this final, really powerful thought from the source material. When you choose calm over control, connection over bribes, you're teaching skills that last far beyond the toddler years. Think about that. This isn't just about surviving a trip to the grocery store today. It's about modeling emotional regulation that your child is going to carry with them well into adulthood. So the next time the storm hits, and it will hit, ask yourself, will I react with control or will I respond with connection? The choice is completely yours. Thank you for learning with us on The Explainer today. Catch you next time.